Ever wondered how a modern myth gets made? Not ancient legends, but the kind of stories that completely shape our digital world? Well, today, we're deconstructing one of the most powerful ones out there. Because we've gotten our hands on the blueprint, the literal recipe for crafting the Facebook origin story. So let's follow these instructions and see how it's built, piece by powerful piece.
And this, right here, this is the finished product. 4 simple words that tell this absolutely epic story. It's catchy, it's inspiring, and it feels inevitable, right? But it isn't an accident. It is the result of a very carefully constructed recipe. So the real question for this explainer is, what are the precise ingredients you need to cook up a narrative this powerful?
All right, first things first. The most critical ingredient in any great myth is the hero. In this blueprint, it gives us very specific instructions on how to forge the perfect protagonist for a tech revolution. And it all starts with just one person.
And notice, the instruction isn't show the founding team or illustrate the concept. Nope, it's make Mark Zuckerberg the main focus. By anchoring the entire visual story to a single character, the whole narrative becomes personal and way easier to follow. It's not about a company anymore, it's about a creator.
What's so fascinating here is just how specific the blueprint is. The setting, a Harvard dorm, that signals 2 things at once, elite intelligence and really humble beginnings. Then the action, just one person, coding. That's the iconic image of a genius at work. Together, they establish the core of the myth, a lone visionary building the future from basically nothing.
This character is what we call the founder archetype, and it is incredibly powerful because it's a template we see all across the tech industry. We see it again and again. The brilliant mind in the garage, the dorm room, or the basement. It's a story that just connects with us because it simplifies a really complex business into a heroic quest. It suggests that one person with one big idea can actually change the world.
Okay, so we have our hero, but what did he create? A social network is totally invisible, right? It's an abstract concept. So the blueprint's next challenge is to make that idea feel real, dynamic, and just unstoppable. Let's see how they do it.
To make the network something you can actually see, the blueprint prescribes a very specific visual language. It's this vocabulary of glowing icons, pulsing notifications, and these lines connecting profiles. Now, none of this is what a network actually is, but it's how we've all learned to see it. Every single element is designed to scream life, activity, and growth.
And that right there is the ultimate goal of these visuals. They aren't just showing you a network exists. They are telling a story of explosive, exponential growth. The visual journey literally starts on a single laptop screen and ends with the entire globe wrapped in a web of connections. It's a visual representation of the to billions part of our title. So, we have our hero, and we can see what he built. But the blueprint's final section is all about the mood, the vibe. See, it's not just about what you show, but how you show it. The aesthetic is what turns a simple story into something epic.
Think about the reality of a college startup. It's probably messy, fueled by cheap coffee, all under these harsh fluorescent lights. But that's not the story we get, not at all. The blueprint specifically calls for dramatic lighting and high contrast. This isn't reality, it's romanticism. It's a choice to make the struggle look heroic and purposeful, not just exhausting. The color palette is just as intentional. That dominant social media blue, it instantly grounds the story in a familiar digital world. It's like a subconscious signal for your brain. And when you pair it with that high-contrast black and white, it creates that serious, almost documentary-like feel the blueprint is aiming for.
And this all serves a really crucial purpose. The blueprint's goal is to create something that feels like a serious technology documentary, to give the story weight and historical importance. But, and this is the genius part, it needs to be packaged as a viral YouTube thumbnail. It's designed for maximum clicks. It's the perfect fusion of cinematic seriousness and modern media savvy.
Okay, let's put all these pieces together. We've seen the ingredients from the blueprint. Now, how do they combine to create that single, powerful dorm to billions narrative?
It's a simple but incredibly effective formula. You take the relatable genius hero, you use those specific visuals to make his abstract creation feel real and explosive, and then you wrap the entire thing in a cinematic style that just elevates it to the level of an epic. Each part has its job, and together, they build the myth.
And this is the result. This staggering number represents the billions in the title. It's the validation of the entire journey. It's the awe-inspiring conclusion to the story that began with a single person coding in a dorm room. The scale of it all, that's the payoff.
Which brings us right back here. And when we see these 4 words, we can see the entire blueprint underneath them. We see the carefully crafted founder, the glowing networks, and the dramatic lighting. This isn't just a title. It's the thesis statement for one of the most successful myths of the digital age.
A blueprint this effective creates a story that's clean, simple, and honestly, pretty inspiring. But that kind of clarity always comes at a cost. So the question to leave you with is this. In forging this perfect myth of the solitary founder, what other people, what other struggles, and what other inconvenient truths are necessarily left out of the story?